Hi, Brian McAboy here with Inside Out Trading. I teach traders how to make their profits so predictable they can quit their day job without fear. Today, we're going to talk about the realities of consistent profits. And this is a really important topic. If you've not been enjoying consistent profits, if you've been struggling to make money at all, or you find yourself in the cycle of make some money and give it back, make some money and give it back, and you're just really not getting ahead the way, and you want more consistency in your profits, pay attention because this is exactly what we're talking about today. First thing, really, and this is so hilarious in one regard and sad in another, but I see so many traders, and honestly, the way they're going about their trading, and I'm not judging anybody. I did it myself for a whole year before I finally woke up, but I was just wishing that would magically happen. I figured I'll just keep trading, and somehow, somewhere along the way, things will just work out, and I'll start making those consistent profits. And it doesn't work that way. And you just can't wish them into being. You can't just keep doing things the way you've been doing them, and it's just magically going to work out. Now, one little caveat on that. If you trade and you can manage to survive for 10 or 15 or 20 years, okay, you're probably over that period of time going to figure it out. You can just keep trading, and a little at a time, here and there, enough beatings, enough losses, all that kind of stuff, you'll figure it out. For most traders, a lot of trading books you read them, they'll say it takes anywhere from 5 to 22 years to become a consistently profitable trader. And if you're going about it the hard way, trying to figure it out on your own and just trading away, yeah, it's going to take a long time. It doesn't have to. And you can't shortcut it. Here's the thing. You can't shortcut it. Just because you want it to be easy, somebody says, oh, just try our magic strategy. There's so many strategies being sold, and it just blows me away. Trust me, there's some great sales guys out there. A real short story. I went to this one workshop. It was been put on at a local hotel in one of the big meeting rooms. And they're saying that it was supposed to be habits of successful people, was what I thought I was signing up for. I go in there, and there's this guy, and he's pitching this trading platform that they've got. Are you kidding me? So I stick around just because it's trading. And I'm watching this guy, and he comes out there, and he's just warming up to the crowd. And he's talking about how great the area is, and, how the people are so awesome here, and the local sports teams. And man, and he's just warming up the crowd. And he's like, how many of you would like to make some money? Can you click on, can you operate a mouse? Can you click on a green arrow and click on a red arrow? I'll show you how you can make some money. And it was literally that simple. And they've got this big screen projection going up behind him. He's standing on the floor with everybody. And literally, it's just showing a big green arrow pointing up and a red arrow pointing down. And he's like, can you do this? You can make money. And they're selling this options platform. And it blew me away because I'm watching everybody in the audience, and they're just buying into this stuff. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then it finally comes around, and he's like, do you think you can do this? I'll tell you what, at the back of the room, there's tables set up. And if you get signed up right now, we'll let you in on our platform, and you can start making money this way. And man, there was this huge rush to the back of the room. And I think there were like probably 50 or 80 people, just this big crowd all around the tables back there. Everybody signed up for this $1,000 program. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I just started walking around and said, look, have you guys ever traded before? No. It never even heard it, but they're buying into this $1,000 program. And stop, just settle in, because you're just going to wind up throwing away your money and a lot of time. And it was funny because fortunately I was able to talk some people into going and getting their money back. But the sales pitch was really great. And there's so many people selling strategies out there. The more common one that you've probably seen is to hold up the chart and say, look, we got in here and we got out here. Look at all this money we made with the strategy. You can do it too. And it's no, the strategy is not the magic. There's so many of them out there. They're saying, just buy our strategy. You'll make those consistent profits. And it's no, it's like the magic buzzword, consistent profits. Everybody's like, buy our shoes. You'll make consistent profits. Just buy our computer. You'll make consistent profits. That's no, just because you're putting a consistent profit sticker on it doesn't mean anything. Consistent profits comes down to having a decent strategy that's based on a sound premise and executing that strategy consistently. That's the essence of consistent profits. One thing I learned a while back, you might have heard this quote, or maybe seen it tweeted around, one of my favorite quotes. You can take an average strategy, or here's the quote properly delivered. An average or even mediocre trading strategy executed consistently will outperform and make more money than a great strategy executed inconsistently. And this is a simple fact I've learned over in my years of trading, working with hundreds of traders over the last 19 years. It's a simple fact. You can take just a decent strategy. It doesn't have to be the best strategy, the most clever thing on the planet. A decent strategy, and if you can execute it consistently, it will outperform a great strategy that's not executed consistently. You've probably experienced this yourself. And it really is that simple. That's the cool thing about it. Now, simple doesn't mean easy if you're going about it the hard way. So the thing is, it is up to you. You have to decide. Trading, if you think about it, and this was the lesson I had to learn after a year of making and losing money and then eventually blowing out my account and losing almost $50,000. But the lesson I had to learn was, as a trader, it was up to me. And you're trading, it's up to you. It's not your strategy. A decent strategy is all you need. A strategy is not going to save your trading. It's up to you to decide you're going to become the trader that you need to be. You need to develop the mindset, the skills matter more than anything. This is a performance-based occupation. This is professional speculation, not amateur night, poker night with your buddies, not goofing around at the slots or whatever. This is professional speculation, and you're up against massive competitors in this space. And it's only the top 10% that make money because they focus on being really excellent at this game. And if you're not one of the ones focusing on getting good at this, acquiring the perspectives and the knowledge and the skills to be good at this, if you're just going to be an average trader, you're the one feeding them their profits. And here's the thing, you can choose which side of the fence to be on. If you want consistent profits, don't just think that if I just be more disciplined, that's going to do the trick. It doesn't work that way. You have to actually get good at this game. And that means acquiring the right perspectives, finding a good mentor, getting the right skills and the right training. Okay, so now how can I speak to this? Well, I was able to turn my trading around based on my occupation, what I'd learned in my corporate job before trading. I was a quality assurance engineer. And in my job as a quality manager, it was my job to get consistent performance out of 183 people over 7 different shifts, or 7 different departments and 4 different shifts in our plant. My job, it was my responsibility to get good, consistent performance out of everybody every day, week in and week out, month in and month out. That was my job. And when I took what I was doing there and I applied it to my trading, that's when I finally got a solid handle on my trading, where I knew what I was doing and my execution was there. And it got so good that I was able to, when I got a new boss and I didn't like him, we didn't like each other, I just turned in my notice and walked out the door without any fear. And I've been living life on terms for 20 years ever since. And I would love for you to be in the same positions where I had stayed in the job for a while because I enjoyed it and I liked the work I was doing. I liked the people I was working with, and I liked my boss. And when I got a new boss and I didn't like him, I was like, see ya. And I picked up my stuff and I walked out the door. And I could do that because I had the choice, because I'd gotten a handle on my trading. And consistent profits, it doesn't come from a magic strategy. It doesn't come from just being more disciplined. It comes from learning what you need to learn to get good at this. And when you get good at things, that's when you have the confidence to know you're solid and you can do, like I said, you can quit your day job without fear. And that's the awesome place to be. It only comes from getting good enough at this. And when you're good enough, that's when the consistent profits happen. That's when the security in what you're doing happens. And I would love to make that happen for you. Swing by InsideOutTrading.com. I've got a weekly workshop where we'll talk about engineered profits, how to make your trading profits so predictable you can quit your day job without fear. There's 3 parts to the process. We'll talk about them in the workshop. It's an interactive workshop. We're going to have some Q&A going back and forth. And so, like I said, go ahead and sign up for the workshop. You'll learn what needs to happen for you to have that kind of security and that freedom with your trading. And I know that's what you're looking for, and I want to help you do that. And it's really straightforward. We can make it happen in pretty short order. This isn't going to take a year on a therapist's couch to figure out what's wrong with you. No, we can make it happen pretty soon. This is a skill set, and you can learn this. So swing by InsideOutTrading.com. In the meantime, give me a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel. This is what we do here. And also share it with your friends. Leave me a comment down below. I hope this has been helpful. It has. Awesome. We'll see you on the inside. Cheers.